Have you ever actually wondered how tools like ChatGPT can just instantly write out these detailed essays, or answer crazy complicated questions, or generate whole blocks of computer code, or, I don't know, even tell a really well-timed joke, all in just a few seconds? I mean, when you see that text popping up so naturally on your screen, it's kind of hard not to think, is there like an actual human typing away behind the screen? Or are we looking at something way smarter?
Welcome to This Explainer. I am so pumped you're joining us today because the answer to that big question about who or what is actually doing the typing comes down to one single massive piece of technology that is literally turning the entire world of artificial intelligence upside down. We're talking about large language models, or LLMs. In This Explainer, we're going to break down exactly what an LLM actually is, and we're going to do it simply. No crazy technical jargon, no overwhelming math, just super clear, easy examples that absolutely anyone can wrap their head around. Let's dive right in.
Section 1. The brain behind AI. What exactly is an LLM?
Okay, so I want you to imagine for a second that you personally have read basically almost every public book in existence, plus millions of websites. Oh, and the entirety of Wikipedia, endless news articles, dense research papers, millions of lines of programming code. And on top of all that, billions of everyday human conversations. Now, imagine your brain was somehow able to flawlessly recognize the deep patterns from all of that data. Well, that right there is basically what a large language model is. It's an artificial intelligence system that's been explicitly trained to understand and then generate human language.
But here's the absolute crucial takeaway, the real secret sauce. It just predicts the most likely next word. That's it. It doesn't memorize factual answers like a traditional database or some digital filing cabinet. Instead, an LLM learns the underlying patterns in how words and sentences and complex ideas actually fit together. So when you ask it a question, it's not going into a hard drive to retrieve a pre-written file. It just predicts the most likely next word, and then the next one, and then the next one at lightning speed. And that continuous, high-speed prediction, that is exactly how it creates those responses that sound so surprisingly, well, human.
Moving on to Section 2. Why call it large? The scale of AI training. Trillions. That's why. See, the word large in large language model doesn't just mean this tech is super popular or a big deal right now. It literally means the AI was trained on an incomprehensible amount of text. We are sometimes talking in the realm of trillions of words. It's a scale that is entirely unprecedented in the entire history of software. So how exactly is all that massive data stored? Well, it's through parameters. These models contain billions, sometimes even hundreds of billions of mathematical parameters. You can kind of think of them as these tiny, intricate digital connections inside the AI's brain. And here's the thing. The more of these useful digital connections the model learns from those trillions of words, the better it gets at genuinely understanding the subtle nuances of human language. This massive, sprawling web of connections is exactly why modern AI has the superpower to write completely original stories or fluently translate languages, summarize incredibly dense documents, answer super niche questions, and, yeah, even help developers code software.
All right, Section 3, predicting the next word, how an LLM learns.
Let's try a quick experiment. Imagine reading this really simple phrase and just let your own brain naturally finish the thought. Ready? The sun rises in the east. You instantly thought east, right? Now really think about why you knew that. I mean, you didn't pause to mathematically calculate the rotation of the Earth in that split second, did you? No, you instantly knew the answer because you have seen and heard that exact sequence of words so many times before in your life. Your brain just recognized the pattern. Well, an LLM learns in a very, very similar way. Let's quickly walk through how that training process actually works step by step. During the training phase, the AI repeatedly tries to guess missing words. So, for example, it might get the prompt, "The capital of France is blank." Step 1, it takes a guess. Step 2, if it gets that guess wrong, the system slightly adjusts those internal mathematical parameters we talked about earlier. And then Step 3, it repeats the process. But it doesn't just do this 10 times or 100 times. No, it repeats this guessing and adjusting loop literally billions of times across all those trillions of words. And over time, it just becomes incredibly, almost supernaturally good at predicting language. This is honestly the big aha moment for really understanding AI. Because its output is so incredibly good, it constantly feels like it's genuinely thinking or reasoning with you. But in reality, it is just making extremely advanced predictions based on the patterns it has learned. It is the ultimate master of pattern recognition.
It's not a conscious thinker.
Which brings us to Section 4, Everyday AI Superpowers. What can LLMs do? Today, large language models are the invisible engine powering tools we use every single day. On the professional side, they can instantly draft polished emails, summarize super long and dense reports, translate languages on the fly, and generate working computer code. And on the creative side, they can brainstorm totally new business ideas, whip up catchy marketing content, explain really difficult academic concepts, help students learn way faster, and even tackle complex customer support questions. These exact capabilities are what run the famous AI assistants you hear about constantly, tools like ChatGPT, Microsoft's Copilot, Anthropic's Claude, and Google's Gemini.
And this broad, sweeping utility, that's exactly why LLMs are widely considered one of the absolute most important technologies of this entire decade. They aren't just some fun internet novelty. They are actively revolutionizing education, totally transforming business workflows, upgrading healthcare diagnostics, changing how we program, and even accelerating scientific research.
It's a real game changer. But we gotta look at the flip side. Section 5, Reality versus AI Hallucination, Understanding the Limitations.
Because look, they aren't perfect. Sometimes they generate completely, flat-out incorrect information. And they do it with absolute 100% confidence. In the tech industry, this is known as an AI hallucination. See, because they strictly recognize patterns and not actual physical reality, they just don't truly understand the world the way you or I do. They simply know which words mathematically look the best next to other words, and sometimes the words they string together form a sentence that is totally, wildly false.
And that is exactly how you should frame your personal relationship with AI. You really got to think of an LLM as an incredibly knowledgeable assistant, not some infallible, all-knowing expert. Because hallucinations are a real thing. You absolutely must always verify important facts. You should never blindly trust AI outputs without double-checking them. And that is especially true when you're using AI for sensitive stuff like medical, legal, or financial advice. Trust, but verify, right? So, to wrap up everything we've unpacked today, large language models are the powerful engines driving today's massive AI revolution. They absolutely do not think like humans, but they have analyzed so much data that they can understand and generate language well enough to help millions of people every single day. And perhaps the most exciting, or maybe a little daunting part of the whole shebang, this technology is currently improving faster than practically anything we've ever seen before. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I really hope it cleared things up for you. If you enjoyed this breakdown, please don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss our future deep dives. But before we go, I want to leave you with one final thought. If these models are already doing all of this incredible stuff just by mathematically guessing the next word, what on earth happens when they actually start to reason? Let me know your thoughts down below and tell me in the comments, what AI topics should we explain next? Keep learning, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.